Hiya and welcome back to Hunar Shed for day 3 of the TZR engine strip and rebuild. I'd like to say a big thank you to Gary again. I think I should just put those at the start of every video and everything that I do on Hunar Shed, because it's going to be a thank you to Gary every time. And I'd like to give a shout out to Delboy from Delboy's Garage. You can find him on YouTube. The username I think is Moonfleet41. Great channel, enjoy watching it. He did a video, Gary again advised me to clean the bobbins on my GSX 750. I had no idea what a bobbin was, so a quick search on Google brought up Delboy's Garage with a really nice how-to on how to check and clean and maintain your brake bobbins. And I watched that video, and I've watched a few of the other ones. He's built a Bandit Rat, and he's building a trailer for it, and I'm enjoying that. So, right, Del, mail call first of all. Let's bring you back over here. 3-piece bearing puller set. Now, if you remember from the last video, I have 2 bearings there, and one in the top there that I can't get out. The other ones I was able to knock out from the other side. But these ones I can't. And again, Gary said, get yourself a bearing puller. So I ordered one. That turned up. So we'll have a go at getting those out. Gunk engine degreaser, because this is all going to need to be cleaned up. The plan is to get it vapor blasted. I think that's another Gary bit of advice. Get it vapor blasted, and then we can paint the engine or get it painted. So, but first of all we need to clean it. WD-40. I don't know if that's the right way to do it, but I've been doing some research on YouTube and Google and everything else, and apparently WD-40 is the nuts for cleaning. So the plan is clean it. Well, I've done this one already. The camera in here is terrible. The light, see if it's better if I move the light. No. There we go. This one's been cleaned up already. Well, as much as you can, just with a toothbrush and a bit of WD-40, as I've done with the cylinder there. But this one, as you can see, is still gacky and gunky and horrible and everything else. So we'll get those bearings out and we'll give that a bit of a clean. Now, I don't know. Well, this whole thing is done because I don't know what I'm doing. It's gonna be, if it isn't already blatantly apparent, then it will become more blatantly apparent as we go on. But it is absolutely cold out here in the shed. So, from my limited understanding of how things work, those need to it needs to be a little bit warmer. I know the gunk, the instructions on the back of the gunk say that it must be applied when the engine is warm. You know, it says start it up, let it warm up, don't get it hot, let it warm up, and then turn it off. I think I'm going to be hard pressed to get this started, especially if you've watched the story so far video, especially if I don't connect an oil feed. So what I've got for that is a bucket of hot water, just straight out the tap, and what we'll do is we'll just dunk those into the hot water to warm up a bit. And while those are warming up, I'm going to finish cleaning that, and then we can warm that up, and get the bearings out. Pistons. Yeah, right. Let's crack on then. So, as you can see, this is one manky. This has actually had a bit of WD-40 on it, but I ran out, so I had to go and buy some more. Bought a nice big tub, so give it a good, some more WD-40, get a good spray. We're going to take all this off with the degreaser later on, but so it doesn't matter if we put on. Try and keep your head out of the light. This is not easy with one hand and a camera, and it's just basically going over it with a toothbrush like this, just lifts, and it really does lift off most of this, well, pretty much all of this crap. Really makes it a lot easier. It's quite surprising how much WD-40 you get through. I got through a whole can cleaning the other parts of the engine. So, but this is practically impossible with a camera in one hand, so I'm going to crack on with this, and yeah, I'm just going to crack on with this pretty well. Some of these crevices, trying to keep out the light, some of these crevices are a real nightmare to get into with a toothbrush. So I have one of these. I think it's supposed to be a tie brush, I'm not sure. I got it for helping clean parts of the bike. It's a nice soft bristle brush, so it doesn't damage the bike when you're cleaning it, but I find it's useful for all kinds of different things. So this is good for getting into those areas that you can't get the toothbrush into. So just get in there, give it a good going over like that. So in these hard to reach areas that the toothbrush is going to struggle to get into. Again, this is a pain in the arse to try and do this when holding a camera, so you do the Blue Peter bit, da 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 da, and then in a couple of seconds time, here's one I prepared earlier. Right, crack on then. Right, it's still far from clean, but it's looking a lot better than it was, and I've noticed, because I don't know when the last time this was started. This is the spare engine. It came in a box with a load of other parts, so I don't know when the last time it was started or anything really. So it's pretty much a journey into the unexplored or more ways than one. But just cleaning it, I found two more seals that I didn't even notice that were there because of the amount of crap that was on it. So we'll have those out. Yeah, it's not mint, but then, you know, it's better than it was. So how was that? Yeah, this is some more of this. I've no idea what this stuff is. It seems to be some sort of clear mastic, and it's been appearing all the way through the engine, in the water system, in the coolant system. I've got to learn these technical terms. In the coolant system and everything. I don't know. Maybe some sort of gasket sealant, gasket sealer or something. I don't know. But this stuff it's just horrible, just nasty. It appears everywhere. It just seems to show up wherever. You know, you do something and then turn around and then there's this, as you can see it, stuck on the side of the engine there. Where did that come from? Right, we'll have those out. Right, that turned out to be a gasket rather than a seal, but that was a seal. And here it is. That came out nice and easy. I have been told a trick to get this excess gasket seal, excess gasket off of things like this. You know, the engine casings. I mean, this hasn't come up too bad actually, but if you get any old gasket on these, I've been told an old credit card or something like that, and just running out. Don't use a Stanley knife. Yeah, don't use a Stanley knife, otherwise you end up digging into it and then it causes you all sorts of problems. An old credit card, just scrape it around, should get the gasket off. Right. I had to change from the bucket to a bigger box because I couldn't fit all the parts in the bucket. So there they are. They should all be nicely warming up, ready to get gunked. And hopefully, because of the heat, obviously metal expands when it gets hot. I think aluminium, which I believe this is, expands more than steel, which I believe is what the bearings are. So by warming this up, I'm hoping, because overnight it got really cold, the metal does that, so it's clamped right onto those bearings. So I'm hoping by putting it in here that the aluminium will expand more than the steel, and that should make using the bearing puller to get the bearings out a lot easier, because the aluminium should expand more than the steel. That's what I'm hoping. Obviously you wouldn't normally put bearings into water, because you wouldn't. I'm guessing, because I don't want to sound like I know everything, but I'm guessing because water in bearings is a no-no. They should be grease, not water, or oil, not water, some sort of lubricant, not water. So those are in there warming up, ready for the gunk, and warming up so I can get the bearings out. So while I wait for that, I've got another job. Tea and biscuits, man. Gotta have tea and biscuits. Right, and while I'm doing that, I'm going to watch some videos and Google a bit on the best practice to use on those. And while I'm there, I'm going to put that in the water as well. As you can see, well, I don't know if you can, I don't know if the camera picks up, the British weather has not let us down. It's done its usual. That's actually hailstones and rain. So, lovely. I've had to bring the box in, so I don't want too much cold, but even then, that's getting there. There isn't a lot of space in this shed, but even then, it's still getting in there. Now, these have warmed up quite nicely, so I can still do the gunk thing. However, I have run into an issue with regards to the bearing pullers. It's a pack of 3, a 3-inch, a 4-inch and a 6-inch. And as I understand it, from what there's not actually too many videos. I do hope you can hear me over this wind and rain. There's not too many videos on YouTube that show, well there is, but none that show the ones that I've got really. But you make sure that those are pointing upwards, because these are internal and external. Push those 3 legs into the middle, and then you turn the bolt at the end, and it should pull it out. However, for every single one of the 3 bearings that I've got to get out, that is too big to actually go inside and pull out. I can't pull them out on the outside because I can't get the teeth on down the inside, so I'm going to have to come up with another way of getting these, see if we can bring that into focus a bit, there we go, seeing if we can get these bearings out, because I'm not going to be able to do it, as far as I know, with these, and that's the smallest one. So the other one, and then the other one, and that's the smallest one, and I can't get that in there to get out. So I don't rule out the possibility that I'm an idiot and I'm using them wrong, but from what I can see from the videos that I've looked at on YouTube and stuff like that, that's the correct way to do it, but they just don't fit. This one's not too bad because you can get something in on the inside to lever it out, but this one appears to be flush to the back of the case, right down there, right into the back of the case, so I'm not sure. I've seen videos where you can get a puller that goes on the inside of the bearing. So I'll get one of these out and then I can show you what I've seen a bit better. Grab the crappy screwdriver. Yeah, these ones, actually I can probably show you better on this because it might work on this. These ones, even then, they're a bit big for this one. They go on the inside like that, and then they can pull the bearing out by hooking in underneath here. I've seen some on the internet that hook into the sidewall here and then lift out, or onto the sidewall here and lift out, but I've got no chance of doing that with those on those bearings, so bummer. But on the plus side, I don't view it that I've just wasted 15 quid on a set of bearing pullers. I do now have where's the other set? There's 1, 2, 3. I now have a full set, well, a good set of bearing pullers for future use. So there we go. It's all about building your tools up. So, and I'm building them up as I go. So I do have the 3 sets of bearing pullers. Unfortunately, they don't appear to be good enough to do, or what is needed to do this job, should I say. But when I upload this video, I've no doubt that the guys that do know what they're doing will go, "You moron, you're supposed to do it like this." In which case I'll make another video where I'll it's a good job you wouldn't be able to see my face, put it that way. Right, but this is, I'm not too worried. This is let's just get that out of the way. This is now warm. It's not hot. Gunk says you can't use it hot. It's not hot. It's just warm. So we're going to give this a paint over with the gunk degreaser, and then see where we go from there. So let's crack on then. Take the lid off of this. Now obviously, as gunk also say, you don't really want to contaminate. You brush this stuff on. It's the engine degreasant brush on. You brush this stuff on but you don't want to stick a paintbrush in there. Just get that out. I don't want that in there. It's not easy doing this with one hand. There we go. Oh, this stuff stinks. Oh, you know, this shed is going to start smelling like a proper workshop soon. You don't want to stick your brush in there, so decant it into another container. So we'll just stick a bit in there. I'm not going to put too much in because I don't know how much I'm going to use, so, and I can't pull that back into the container that it's come out of. So get the lid, stick that back on there like that. I'll stick that out of the way. I'm fairly certain that's probably not going to be enough to do everything, but like I said, I don't want to fill that up and then realise that I've wasted half of it. Right, again, I'm using one of these. Give it a good brush on, and it's just apply it like that until everything is apparently wet. So, oh, the smell, it's lovely. I do like the smell of this stuff. So we'll just work this into all the crevices. As much as we can. Right, this is probably going to be a boring bit while I do this, so, and the radio's off because I use the phone for the radio as well. So what I'll do is I'll finish doing this. Because this is all it is, it's just painting it on. According to the instruction manual, this is just painting it on. So, and it's probably going to be a lot easier to do this without trying to do it while holding the camera. So, crack on then. Right, I hope the wind isn't too bad. The microphone on this phone is crap when there's a breeze. There we go. Coated in gunk. Now I've got to let that sit for 10 minutes or more, so to let that do its thing. I've got to say, it looks better on the camera, it looks cleaner on the camera than it does in real life, so yay, good camera. Just a crap microphone. Right, and that gives me a chance to clean all of this crap up while that's doing its thing and get rid of that water. Or actually I might keep that water because you've got to rinse it off, this gunk off, with water. I have got a pressure washer which I was told would be handy, but with the weather as the way it is, the last thing I want to be using is electricity outside, so I might keep that and use that to rinse the parts off with. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. Right, let's crack on then. Right, so there's the new seals that I found today after cleaning the engine. I've taken the numbers off of those. There you go. So I know, because I've got to replace them. I have been told that you need to replace all the seals, so they'll have to get replaced. And there's this one that came off the water pump thing. Dubring. Hang on a second. Have I got it over here? Where did I put that? Yeah, this thing, which goes in the engine. I think that pumps the water around the engine, if I'm not mistaken, or something like that. So it's a water seal. Put that back so I know where it is. It's a water seal, but the rubber around the outside, I'll just get this, try and get this in focus. As you can see, it's just knackered. There's no details on the outside that I can see because it just disintegrated, and it just says waterside on the inside, so I don't know what part number that is to reorder it, so I'm going to have to find that out. But those are the seals that I've taken out. Those are the part numbers for those seals, so I know which ones to reorder. And now that degrease has been on there for a while, so I need to rinse that. Off. It's looking nice and clean actually. My next question is going to be, obviously I want this to look as good as possible when I finish rebuilding it. I mean, that's the idea. I mean, we're not talking show winning quality, but it has got to look smart, and this cover has a fair amount of damage on the outside. I don't know what the one is like on the other engine, It's possible that I can use that one. So I don't know how much damage on it, but that's quite deep on there. How can I tidy that? Is there any way that I can tidy that up so it's all smooth? I mean, we've got some sort of a metal filler or something like that. I mean, it's all going to be painted. I've been told to do it in two-pack gloss. I think you said, Gary. My memory is shit. 2-pack gloss, but I don't know how I'm going to make that all nice and smooth again. So there we go. Right, let's rinse this off, which is probably going to be boring to watch, so I'm probably not going to be able to do it with one hand and holding the camera as well, so we'll give that a shot. So here we are, day 3 point something or other. These have actually been left standing for a lot longer than they're supposed to be. It said 10 minutes. It's been a lot longer than that. It's actually the next day. I didn't get a chance to finish this off last night, but I'm not overly worried about it. If it goes wrong, I'll have to fix it. But I did try rinsing these down by hand, and that was just being a pain in the backside. And then somebody said, and I believe it was Gary again, suggested pressure washer. Right. Yeah. Those people that know me are probably going, oh no, about now. This can only go badly. But you know, it's parts. Pressure washer. Parts. How hard can it be? Yeah, jet washing seems to do the trick. It'll feel nice and not greasy anymore. Still a bit of dirt on them, but I'm guessing that's what's going to be taken off with the vapor blasting or whatever it is. Some things are difficult to get to. I mean, there's still a lot of elbow grease went into getting all that out, so I think those are just marks that the vapor blasting is designed to get off. But there we go. That bit I shall have to do by hand, because it's too small. The jet wash just blows it away. There's some more shots of this damage. There we go, that's better, that's in focus. Of this engine casing. I have got another one on the other engine. I don't know what condition that is in. I could use that, I guess, but I don't really just want to paint over all that damage, because it's a cheap bike and everything else, but I want it to look good, and it's pointless spending all this time and effort making everything else look good to put that back on again. So we'll see. But there we go, all done. I shall pack these up and put them back in the shed.